Welcome back, everybody, to Dudes with Brews. I'm your host, Keith, alongside with my co-host, Noah. How's it going tonight?
Every time you do that intro, bro, it does sound like iCarly.
Anywho, we got a good episode for you guys today. But as first and as always, on Dudes with Brews, Noah, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Pacifico, the classic. Never had it before,
Ooh,
so
ooh.
we're
At the
we're
end of
gonna we're
this,
gonna see how it goes.
at the end of this, you're gonna have to tell us what you rated out of 10.
All right.
And today, I am drinking garage beer. Thought I would feel the vibe, and I
Yeah,
think it's a
yeah.
solid beer. If you haven't had it, I rank it a 7 out of 10. Very solid beer. Won't blow you away, but it's beer flavored beer, and that's all we care for.
Hey man, the 70% is passing.
70% is passing. And that's all we really care about in college. Is as long as we get a passing grade, hey, we're chilling. We're chilling.
B's and above. B's and
B's and
above.
above. Speaking of college, Noah, did
Yo,
USC have a game this week? I actually don't know. I didn't look it up.
yeah, they
Probably
did.
should have. All right,
They,
who would they
they
play?
lost to Notre Dame. They
Oh,
lost
that's
to Notre
right.
Dame.
That's right. They did. They did. I actually watched that game. I don't know why I didn't think USC had a game. What a crazy game that was.
Yeah, it was.
Bro.
Classic USC, man. Just can't seal the deal against good teams. Every
And
time,
oh,
every time you need them, they do not show up.
and that is what's
Like a
so funny about
bad
USC.
father.
Like Peter Griffin. That's what's so funny about USC is that they will always have like generational talents like Caleb Williams, Reggie Bush,
Yep. Hell yeah.
Heisman winning quarterbacks and whatnot, and like Heisman winning players, but can never go to the big dance. Can never go to a playoff. Like it blows my mind. And like, yeah, you'll get it like every once in a blue moon, but I feel like you guys
Yeah.
aren't normally the powerhouses that I feel like you guys should be.
And I think that has a lot to do with coaching. I mean, look at our coaching staff over the years. They've been all right, but they've never been, that different caliber that you need to
Sure.
be a great program at the end of the day. And that's nothing against the coaches that come in because college coaching is hard, let's be honest. But I
100%.
think USC needs to end up sitting with a dedicated coaching staff for more than a couple seasons. Because I mean, even looking at the late 2010s, how many head coaches did the program go through?
Facts. Facts. USC does have a ton of turnover. I think at least I know the offensive coordinator is he was the not Carolina Panthers, Arizona Cardinals head coach. Um shoot, what's his name, bro? Oh my gosh, it's gonna bother me. It's going to
I'm not
bother
gonna
me.
tell you. I'm not gonna tell you
Bro.
just because
I
I think it's
wanna
funny.
I wanna say it's Lane Kiffin, but Lane Kiffin is the Ole Miss head coach. Ah, give me a hint. Give me a hint, fam.
I really don't want to. You're talking about the current like OC, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Last
he
name is
made
Stewart.
dude, wait, am I tripping? Bro, who am I thinking of?
The current
Because
OC is Luke Heward, and I don't. Was he? I was taking your word for it that he was the Cardinals head coach. I
because
don't think he
the
was. I'm
because
taking
the
your word for it.
Cardinals head coach, no, he wasn't. The Cardinals old head coach is back and playing college ball or coaching college ball. Um and so I truly thought he was at USC with Caleb Williams, and I thought he stayed. I thought he did
Uh,
because
Most
he
recent
made
former head coach was Cliff Kingsbury,
he
and Cliff
Cliff.
Kingsbury's
Yeah.
in. Uh, no, he's still in the NFL. Kingsbury's still in the NFL.
Did he move back to the NFL?
I think he's still in the NFL, right?
Is he? He's not.
Yeah,
He's not
Cliff
the.
Kingsbury, current job is the offensive coordinator for the Washington Commanders. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so he got back into the NFL because I'll say I know when Caleb Williams was in college, Kingsbury I want to say was at USC. I want to say that.
Yeah.
Am I right on that? Was he the USC's offensive coordinator?
Uh,
Doing this on the fly.
I'm looking it up.
Hey, that's what we do with Dudes
Yes,
With
yes,
Brews.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
He was sorry. He wasn't. He was senior offensive analyst.
Okay, so that means that he wasn't the he wasn't the offensive coordinator, but he damn well acted as if he was the offensive coordinator. Um,
Yeah,
your
he pretty
offensive
much he made the
analyst,
game plan,
yeah, your offensive analyst is okay. How is our offense going to perform and what we should do like on a week to week basis? So anybody that
and then
says
it
that
didn't
like
matter.
yeah, I mean, you guys went to a Pac-12 championship game and lost when he was there.
Once
Keyword
again,
loss,
didn't matter.
but yeah, yeah. Speaking of coaching staffs not living up to their potential, per se. CU didn't have a game this week, but I don't. Have you seen what they did? And I really respect
Yeah,
Deion Sanders doing.
I saw their like their scout bowl kind of. It's not a scout
Yeah,
bowl because,
Porter Bowl. It
but
was their. It
it
was
was all the
so
people who were not getting PT basically.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? That to me speaks of how good of a coach Deion Sanders is personality-wise. You know, we talked about last week about James Franklin, and you know how
Yeah,
he's such like a good recruiter and a good um, players coach, where a lot of people are going to go where he goes. And to me, Deion Sanders is that same way. Deion Sanders very much is one of those guys where he's going to give everybody the chance to play, if not, earn the film like he did in this transfer scrimmage, in order to get playing time. And I do think that a lot of, I guess, teams or programs should be doing that, but I also understand um, why they don't. Just because it's like if you're gonna transfer, like that's on you. If you don't have the film
yeah.
to transfer, then there's nothing that the team should do in order for you to leave because like you're leaving that program and like you could make them better, but just because you think that you're not going to get playing time with them next year, it's kind of like all right, well then I'm just going to jump ship, and that's what a lot of um players do nowadays with NIL and kind of just like wanting to play is that they don't stick it through the
Nico,
program. Ooh,
UCLA quarterback.
yeah, yeah. I mean, he's doing all right though. I think he has
Now, yeah,
more.
he's doing all right.
Yeah, with Coach Jerry, but you know, it's sad that nobody rides it out anymore with the colleges that they had originally committed to. I think we do need to
Oh,
have.
it's not all the time. I definitely
I,
think that it's a mixed problem. I think it's both players, wanting to chase that money, but also I think that head coaches got too used to that idea of I can just treat players however I want and they won't leave because they can't.
yeah.
So I don't think it's all on the players, but anyways.
No, and to your extent, yes, I agree, but I also want to see like players own up to their word and wanting to stay. Now, do I understand like players transferring because of their coach and how he is as a person? Yes. You know this. I was in that same situation when we were playing.
Yeah.
Like I was going to transfer because our coach was not a player's coach.
Yeah.
And I hit hard as a freshman. I'm sure if I stayed with the program and whatnot, if it didn't get shut down, I would have adapted to it. But I do feel as if the players do need to be held to a certain level of expectation. Essentially, now that they are getting paid millions upon millions of dollars to play college football, I definitely do feel like it is the right move because you are risking your life every single Saturday. You should get paid for it, especially if you're a top talent like Jeremiah Smith or um, Ryan Williams. You should be getting paid for making your program millions of dollars.
Yeah, and I think that I think there should be a heavier penalty for transferring now than
Yeah,
there is.
yeah,
And that's on, the NCAA themselves to make that change. But then again, are they going to do that? No, because
no,
players transferring is going to make them more money in the long run,
yep,
right? Because when, top player leaves from Georgia to Tennessee, that's more jersey sales, that's more fans traveling, that's more fans to that program. But,
yeah.
we're getting off track again.
Yeah, and we'll make a whole, I'm sure, podcast when there isn't football, and we'll talk about all things football, NAIA to D3, and things along those lines. But I want to
Yep.
circle back to the CU portal game. I do think though that it is smart as coaches to know that, like, hey, who is going to leave you next year. That way, like, you can start
Yeah.
an more earlier recruiting process on who to recruit earlier. Like, if you know or you see a lot of guys balling out on that O line, and you're like, all right,
Mhm.
he's definitely like trying really hard because he wants to go leave somewhere else, then you
Yeah.
go out and you recruit a whole lot more offensive linemen than you normally would. So I do think it's a good idea, and I wonder if more college teams are going to um, take that and try to give it their players the opportunity that they think that they deserve.
I think that it's also smart because let's say you're doing this uh portal bowl, right? And you're realizing something is like, all right, hey, maybe this kid does have something. Now you can start having that conversation with that player, or as coaches, just
Oh,
like, all
I
right,
never thought
maybe
about that.
maybe we need to get this kid to stay.
I
Like how
honestly
do we
never
get
thought
this
about
kid
that.
to recommit next year? How do we get him to,
To
not
buy into
leave
the
us and
program.
go to, yeah, and buy into that, you know, work through it and just wait for your time mentality.
Dude, I actually, before talking to you about this, I didn't think of it that way. And that's a really good point. And yeah, I now that you bring that up, I do think that more college programs should continue to do portal games. Just so that they know that, like, hey, like who truly does have the talent and we can buy into and try to convince him to stay with this program, to buy in. That's actually a really really good comms on your end.
And I think also, it's different when it's, like that kind of I guess like portal game than when it's like, a spring game. Just because I think people play different when they're trying to put film together to go somewhere else rather than, just a spring game where it's like I've been playing against these guys all year. I've been through a full spring ball. I'm stuck here for the season rather than it's like if I put something good here, I could potentially go somewhere as good or even better.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's really good comms, really good comms. But yeah, I think more programs should be doing it. And
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'll be interested to see the following development regarding transfer portal games for these colleges. If they're going to continue to do it, if they're going to take CU's idea, only time will truly tell.
I
Well,
don't know if I don't know if any teams will be continuing like a transfer portal game, but I think they're going to start to try and give more incentives for these players that aren't playing to try and uh, try and see what they really have and try to get more out of them. You
sure,
know, like
sure,
encourage them almost.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I completely agree. you're gonna get more out of your players. Especially, I think Dion knows this too. You're gonna get a whole lot more if you encourage those players. If like that, hey, once a year on the bye week especially, you're going to
Yeah,
have a portal transfer game where like you can truly show off and go 100% to put out some good film. Well, obviously you're not going to go 100% in practice. That isn't what you do. But when your head coach
yeah,
even says, "Hey, QBs are alive. Like this is a game like scenario." And now you can
yeah,
truly present yourself on who you are as a player. I do think players are going to respect that more. And if those players can show off to their coaches more on why they should be playing, I do think that they will stay in as long as those coaches truly stay with their word and talk to them about, hey, there's a potential for you next year to be a starter.
yeah. Or even like, hey, this guy's been slacking on the field. We like what we saw out there. We're gonna give you a shot.
Yeah.
Because during the week, as much as coaches want to say it in college, there is not that many opportunities to really win the starting spot just because, it's hard to make that adjustment midseason to pull a guy out of your system, to pull out a guy that, has been taking those one reps and can at least go that speed and risk it on a second string or a third string guy.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. No, that's a very fair um that's a very fair criticism. Is that obviously your your freshman isn't gonna go full speed against Caden Salter, right? Like he isn't gonna go take his head off. But now, right, your redshirt freshman, he hears, oh hey, like I can go take off the walk on freshman's head. Oh sure, yeah, go. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go for it. I'm gonna show myself. I'm gonna show out.
Yep. Yeah, for sure.
Well, Noah, just like in college, another week has gone by in the NFL. And we're going to start off our NFL portion of this week with Kansas City Chiefs 31-0 win over the Las Vegas Raiders. Oh
Yeah.
man.
I mean, insane to just put up a goose egg in the National Football League is an insane feat. And as much as people want to say it's like, oh, it's the Raiders, that's still a football team. They still have NFL caliber players, and to shut out a team and to be in victory formation before the 2-minute warning is insane.
Dude,
That is
that's
insane amounts of skill.
that's
You know,
that's what I was going to there's two things I want to talk about. Obviously, I want to talk about the goose egg cuz that is impressive by Steve Spagnuolo's defense. But the other thing I want to talk about in this game is Rashid Rice's return. Um,
oh, that's right.
yeah.
I
I'll
forgot.
talk to you about it in a little bit. But I don't think people quite understand how impressive that is to hold a team to 0 points in the National Football League. I mean, I am a Broncos fan, right? You know this, diehard Broncos fans. I'll tell you a funny story about that. But when we got shelled for 72, we still put up 10 points.
Yeah,
Like we didn't get blow, like we were held to 0. And
like
that
that's
is
uh,
crazy. Like that's what you see in JV games.
yeah. Even then, it's still hard to hold a team to no scores, like not even a field goal, not even letting them get in field goal range is impressive to say the least.
Dude, yeah, to hold them to not even get into field goal range is absolutely crazy. To shut down Ashton Dempsey, a top 10 pick, which obviously I know that line isn't good. Like I know people are gonna tell me the stats. Oh, he has the most yards after contact because he gets tackled as soon as he gets the ball. Like, bro, shut up. Like that's I don't care about that. It is impressive defeat that you held a NFL team to 0 points for an hour. That is
Yeah,
mind boggling.
playing almost perfect defense. is
bro,
mind-boggling.
bro,
That's what a goose egg tells me. Is that team played almost perfect defense on you?
bro. And now what's crazy is fans are starting to call out Geno Smith again, saying, "Hey, like, bro, it's time to hang it up. Like, you ain't the same player as you were in Seattle anymore,
He wasn't a good player in Seattle.
bro." I mean, he was all right. He was all right. Those first couple of years with Pete Carroll, he was all right. But like,
That's true. That's true. That's true. I'm not giving him
but
credit
like,
there. His
but
first
like,
few years, he was pretty.
yeah. I mean, I think he went to a Pro Bowl his like whole time he was a starter in Seattle. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna fact check
he
that.
definitely made a Pro Bowl.
Somebody's. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Fact checking it.
Fact checking it. But but
Yep,
it is
two-time Pro Bowl.
2 time. I thought he was there for 3 years, 3 years starter. But anywho, regardless, that is impressive. Congratulations to Spagnola and that defense, Chris Jones. You have I don't know how much I don't want you to look up the stats or anything like that. I don't know how well you performed per se. But if you showed a little bit more effort than you did against Jacksonville, then congrats to you on taking criticism and being able to show out that you
To adjust
can
your
do it.
game.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Complete shout out to you. On the flip side of the ball, I brought up Rashid Rice. He's return game. You want to guess his stats?
11 receptions, 125 yards.
7 receptions, targeted 10 times for 42 yards for 2 touchdowns. They obviously it's not the yardage, but what it is he was a threat in goal line scenario in
Yeah.
goal red zone area. Um, to me, that's scary. That is scary that you can have a player when because if you don't know, the red zone is 20 yards in. For anybody that doesn't know that, it's 20 yards in. So you are essentially squished down to 30 yards because that end zone is 10 yards. A lot of times people or teams tend to stall out in that red zone area because your playbook is limited to I don't know 15 to 20 plays and
Yeah.
about half of them are run plays. Inside zone,
Yeah. And then
QB sneak, zone.
even even looking at pass plays, you're limited to certain ideas.
Yeah,
Like you're
yeah.
not running a bunch of different route concepts.
Mhm.
You're looking at the same route concept over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not running like you're not running 4 like post and like a hail like a streak. That's not what you're doing. What you're running is like your flood concepts, your sticks concepts, your mesh concepts. Things to get open
Yep.
in the red zone area. And it is a whole lot harder for wide receivers to adjust to that just because it is so congested. They don't have as much of the field to work with. And so a lot of times that's why you
Yeah.
want your wide receivers to get your slant and to take it to the house. Obviously it's a flashy play, but they have that 80 to 70 yards of wiggle room to play with. Um so with
Yeah.
that being said, to only have 7 receptions for 42 yards and 2 touchdowns, he was able to every single time they were in the red zone for those 31 points, he was able to create space in short areas of the field. That's what it seems like. Obviously, if you watch the stats, all pro 22 film and whatnot, I'm sure he had multiple open yardage catches and things like that. But you have to obviously be in the red zone area to catch a touchdown. And to be 2 of those on your return back where you don't have game like sense since what he didn't I don't think he played all of last year. Since I want to say your rookie year is really impressive to me.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Personally, don't think he should be back after what he did. But props to him for being able to come back and put up those numbers.
I'm not going to get into it, but here's my philosophy on it. You got to think as a business, you are going to suspend, as of right now, fan wise, the number one team in the NFL, and you have arguably a top 5 to top 10 quarterback of all time on that
Yeah.
team. You're gonna take away his wide receiver run, like like as a business, it's not right to be like, oh yeah, he should play. I understand as like a fan and as a person, you're like, bro, you should not be playing football. But let me hit you with this: Deshaun Watson, Ben Roethlisberger, Ray
Yeah, you're right. All
Rice.
right. You could stop you could
Yep,
stop the list after
yep,
Deshaun Watson.
yep. They all still played for a couple of years longer, and Deshaun Watson's the worst of them so far. Anywho, Rams travel down with the Jaguars to London without
Across the
Puka
pond,
Nakua
across
playing.
the pond.
Dude, what is that about? They absolutely destroyed the Jags. And the Jags are a team for me this year that are a dark horse. I think Trevor Lawrence is playing really well. And to perform that well, obviously, like, congratulations to that defense. That is a hell of a game. To hold them to only 7 points,
Curl.
dude.
Cam Curls had 8 solo tackles.
Oh my gosh. For those of you who don't
Dog.
know, solo tackling is the one of the hardest things to do on the defensive side. What you are essentially doing as a solo tackler is you are bringing down one guy by yourself. Like you don't have anybody around you to touch him to bring him down for the leverage. It is purely you met him like a ram and you take him down. Obviously, I'm sure some of those 8 tackles were like things were like out routes or like outside zones where he was able to like kind of like force him down, kind of like wrestling. But that is still crazy to have 8 solo tackles.
As a safety too.
Dude, that means
Like
you're
he's not
playing
the
in the
biggest
box.
he's not the biggest dude. He is
Yeah.
a smaller guy on the field that is just solo tackling people that are usually 100 pounds to 200 pounds bigger than him.
No, if you are a safety and you have 8 solo tackles, you are mainly playing in the box. Um,
Oh yeah.
and that's what Jamal Adams was doing a whole lot, playing that sub linebackers role. But it is crazy to think about having 8 solo tackles in the National Football League. Congrats to you, man. But what I think is more impressive is what did you guys put up? 34, 31 points?
I want to say it was like 28. I don't think it was in the third. Oh,
No,
35. Never mind. I was wrong.
35. Yeah. 30. I was about to say, I knew Stafford threw for like 5 touchdowns. What surprised me is how well that offense looked without Puka Nakua. Because a lot of times you see a spark plug like that go out of a game, and
And it's
yeah, and that there isn't that like that momentum that you have. It's like if the Vikings lost Justin Jefferson, a whole level of the game is just thrown out the window.
yeah. I mean, even just look at the Bucks right now.
Yeah,
No Mike Evans, and that team's offense has taken a dip.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
And
oh my gosh, dude. Noah will if we have time at the end of this NFL segment, we'll talk about it. Um, but that was really impressive to me that the Rams were able to handle business and Matthew Stafford was able to throw 5 touchdowns in a game overseas where you're playing. I guarantee you, you're jet lagged. You didn't sleep well the night before. That is insanely impressive. Congratulations,
it
Matthew
is
Stafford.
crazy. At his age, I mean, you'd expect him to definitely take a drop off after that kind of
Oh,
travel, but I mean, he
dude.
went out there and he put the ball where if you watch the highlights, you will see a lot of the time Stafford isn't even putting power behind that ball. He is
No.
just finessing it into spots where Devontae can get it or Parkinson can get it.
Yep.
And that is honestly harder than putting, as much power as you can behind that ball.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's what I like to call, I think I've talked to you about this, is playing point guard. You don't necessarily need to be the most flashy and throw 99 power at your guy every single time. But if you can put that ball in a position where only your wide receiver can get it and you're throwing him open, your game elevates everybody else around you, and it is amazing to see when your offense is clicking like that. You're practically unstoppable. Plus, you have that style of defense. You should be winning every single game.
No, yeah, I
Speaking,
completely agree. That's
you good there? You got a little hiccup? I heard that.
I'm sorry, my Wi-Fi just dropped off for a second, and I thought something was going on with my computer, but we're good.
Uh oh. Uh oh.
No, we're good.
Experiencing
It just
experiencing network issues in our second
no, we're
ever
good.
podcast, back to back podcast.
I just
Oh
closed.
man.
I forgot I had something downloading on Steam in the background, so I just paused
Ooh,
it.
there you go. There you go. That will solve it. Speaking of crazy defense, Broncos Giants last quarter comeback. What a game. Probably so far game of the season. Um
I'm a believer, bro.
you a
I'm a
believer now?
believer.
You're a believer
I'm a
now?
believer,
Let
bro.
me man, where do I want to start with
33
this?
points in the fourth quarter.
33 points in the fourth quarter. Pro Football Focus said they're in the league right now when the Denver Broncos are trailing. He is 78.9 adjustment QBR rating. What that means is when the Denver Broncos are trailing in the fourth quarter, he is 78.9% better than he was quarters 1 through 4.
Bro, it's insane.
Double down.
It's
He is the only quarterback in the fourth quarter to rush for 2 touchdowns and throw for 2 touchdowns.
wow.
Eh, are you a believer?
I'm a believer.
Because I
I'm also
certainly
a
was not
Falcons
watching that
believer.
game. Dart was balling. Dart was balling. But I certainly was not a believer. Let me tell you a funny story. All right. So I'm
Okay.
watching the game, and the Denver Broncos are just doing terrible on Sunday. No points all the way through the third. The third quarter ends, and I'm like, bro, I'm not watching this game. Like, I gotta go fix my computer. I'm not watching this game. And so I'm like, all right, mom, like, I'll catch you. Like, love you. I'll see you tomorrow. I
Yeah.
start leaving, and my mom and my stepdad are blowing me up. They're like, come back. Like, the Denver Broncos are they just scored a touchdown. And I'm like, nah. I'm like, it doesn't really matter. I'm like, it's what? It's
What are they going to
six
score?
six to
33 points?
19. I'm like, bro, it's 6-19. I'm like, I'm not watching that. Well, and then right after they score a touchdown, off of the deflection, which crazy stat, this has never happened before. Two teams simultaneously have never on back-to-back touchdowns have caught a pass off of a tip. That has never happened before in the NFL. And on those back-to-back drives, they were both caught off tip passes and caught for a touchdown. Obviously, the New York Giants player had to catch the tip pass and then run it in, but it has never been done before.
Yeah.
So then that happens.
That's
Man, I'm gonna sound so fake for this, but then I'm trying to fix my PC, and I call my dad. He's like, "Holy shit, Keith, have you watched the game?" And I'm like, "No." And he's like, "Turn it on, dude. It's 22-29." And I'm like, "Nah, man." I'm like, because I am superstitious when it comes to football. I am superstitious. I have my pregame rituals that I do every single game before I would do it. It was play Madden, eat spaghetti, watch cartoons, and then go out and play. And whenever I did that, I would perform really well. And so I have superstitions. And so as a fan, I'm like, yo, we're finally doing good when I'm not watching the game. I didn't watch
Yeah.
the entire rest of the game and we fucking won. Dude, I was so upset that I didn't watch it, but my superstitious was like, I can't. I can't watch it. I'm like, if
No,
I
no, no,
watch it
because they
right
definitely
now,
because they won because of you.
dude, that's what I'm trying to put out in this podcast. The Denver Broncos won because I didn't watch the game. When I was watching the
So you
game, we put
can't
up
watch the
0
rest of the
points.
season.
Damn.
You can't watch the rest of the season,
Damn.
bro.
I can't watch the rest of the season. But you know what that means? We won the Super Bowl because of
What?
me. And
True, true,
if
true.
I don't get a Super Bowl ring for my contribution, then they're fake. They're fake. That's all I'm saying.
Ew, fake team, bro. Fake team.
Fake team, bro. Um, but now we're crazy fourth quarter. Um, like I said last episode, I don't want to get too much into serious talks on this podcast. Um, but I thought this was really cool, Noah, and I thought you would like it. So Demaryius Thomas, Denver Broncos legend, um,
Yeah.
carried us a lot throughout the early 2010s and things like that. With Tim Tebow as our quarterback, with Paxton Lynch, Trevor Simeon, he was our anchor as fans who we can rely on to score us points. Died at 33 years old, war number 88, was put into the Ring of Honor at halftime. Here's what I think is
Oh, hell yeah.
what is so cool about this Sunday. And obviously, we aren't very much a spiritual like guide on this podcast. We're just two idiots.
Yeah.
But here's you ready for this? This is actually so cool. In the fourth quarter, they scored two-point conversions. So they put up 8 points.
Okay.
8 and 8, 88, Demaryius Thomas. Demaryius Thomas died at age 33. Denver Broncos won the game by 33 points. With 33 points. Bro, when I saw that shit, low key gave me the chills. I was like, that is crazy.
Yeah. That's
Bro. I was like, how fitting to put up two-point conversions, so you get 8 points, and then to win the game at the age of his death. I was like, bro, that shit is
no, that's
wild.
that's cool to
That
see, man.
that
Stuff like
shit was
that's always
wild.
stuff like
But
that's always nice to see. Just because it's a feel good story at the end of the day.
yeah, it's a very much feel good story, and dude, I just thought I would share that with you. Obviously, we're not um a spiritual podcast at all, but
Not even
that
close.
I thought not even close. We're drinking Dudes With Brews. We been cussing. But I thought that was cool, and I was like, bro, shit is crazy. Um, on a more lighthearted note, we saw the Tank Bowl.
We did see the
Browns
Tank Bowl.
Browns Dolphins. You know, I saw um
We saw Quinn Ewers.
as we saw Quinn Ewers, but more importantly, I saw that this game was like impractical jokers, and the loser has to keep their head coach for 10 years and sign him for $100 million guaranteed, and they cannot cut him. I thought that shit was so funny. I was like, bro, because Mike McDaniels is not bad. Kevin Stefanski is not. Actually, I take that back. He
Yeah,
was a he was a big part on why Baker Mayfield got traded, and he should have never been traded. But it is crazy that the Tank Bowl happened. Um, with that being said, that brings up our first ever team spotlight on the Miami Dolphins. Man, are they rough to watch.
Bad.
Tua
I
turned the
mean,
ball over.
three interceptions and one
Three.
fumble. I mean, that's four turnovers in one game. That
Dude, that's not winning football. That's not winning football. Did you see the thing where I sent you about the commentator?
I did not. What did he say?
So I think it was during the Patriots Titans game. Um, they do their other teams like story report or whatever.
Yeah.
And in the report, the commentator says Tua threw his second interception in the game, and then he goes, while saying that, Tua threw his third interception of the game. Bro, I was like, no way, Tua. They were just dogging you on national TV, and then you proceed to go out and throw a third interception in the middle of
Yeah.
them broadcasting your game during another game. I was like, oh my gosh, Tua, that's not good.
What's also bad is I'm looking at the stats here. Dolphins had 11 penalties and 103 penalty yards.
Mm,
I
mm.
mean, four turnovers, 103 penalty yards, 11 penalties. I mean, you're not winning because the rest of them are really close, you know?
Yeah.
219 yards to 206, 3.8 yards per play versus 3.9. A lot of these stats are really close, but I mean, you just turn the ball over and you don't play disciplined football. You lose every week.
And you give up easy yards, easy free
Yeah.
yards. And that's not what you're gonna win. I have seen fans of the Miami Dolphins they're criticizing Tua not because they don't like him as a person, but what they are doing is they are saying that you can't perform like you are and then go to the media and then say, if it is so easy, then why don't you become a quarterback in the National Football League? You can't have an attitude of somebody like, I'm going to say Vegeta. You can't have Vegeta's attitude and then go and play like Krillin. Like you have to either play with swagger and play with that moxie, or you need to be a game manager. And I think Tua just right now is just doing too much. And yes, it is hard once you leave your wide receiver one. It is hard, and like we gave credit to the Rams when they lost their wide receiver one, they were able to um still perform at a really high level. The
Yeah.
Dolphins do not have that ability. Um, it is a mix of their O line can't protect Tua good enough. It's the fact of obviously those four turnovers hurt their defense, but their defense can't keep them out of the end zone. Um, it's how much I want to say it is Tua's fault. I think fans have to understand that it is a lot more than just the QB's fault at the end of the day. And it
Yeah.
is super easy to blame the quarterback because he touches the ball every single play, but fans need to understand is that unfortunately Tua can lose you the game, but he can't win the game by himself.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that take. There's only so much. I think it's a whole team deal more often than not. You
Yeah.
know, people often want to look at the quarterback or look at the O line, but with those stats, something's wrong everywhere
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
at the end of the day.
And we're offensive guys. You can't win games if your defense constantly lets them into the end zone. Um, and that is, I feel like, one of the biggest struggles for the Dolphins is that they just can't keep them out of the end zone. Whatever they do, I feel like every time I watch the Dolphins play, the opposing team is in the end zone.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, we'll see about the Dolphins for the rest of the year. I don't know. It sounds like it, um, but I don't know, or it sounds like Mike McDaniel um is going to be fired.
This might be.
I don't believe he should be, just because there is so much to consider when it comes to losing games, and I don't think his playbook or what he is dialing up for teams every single week is the reason why they're losing.
Yeah. But I also see why they might want to get
Oh
rid of
yeah.
him
Oh yeah. Change of
because,
pace.
yeah, they just need some kind of change. And sometimes that's all it takes. Is sometimes, those your players don't mesh well with your head coach. And so get rid of the head coach. Sometimes you'll see an improvement. And it's just unfortunate that that's how it is.
Yeah, it sucks because I don't ever want to blame coaches for players losing, because they're not out on the field. It is purely you lose and win the game by the talent you have out on the field. And if that talent doesn't produce, no matter how good that game plan is, you aren't winning games at any level.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. No,
Noah,
you're totally right.
speaking of winning and losing games, I lose a lot in Battlefield 6, mainly because I'm a COD player trying to play Battlefield 6 like it's COD and it's not. Um,
Yep.
with that being said, and I need you to really believe me in this. It's not because I'm bad at the game, because I only play medic. I only try to go for revives because I think that is the most fun thing to do in Battlefield 6. I had to delete the game. Let me let me tell you why. So, now this could be only an EA app thing, but
Okay.
I was told a long time. I think FaZe Jev recommended it. You play the game from the developers app, because I guess it runs better. Like you play COD on
Yeah.
BattleNet because it runs better than it would on Steam or like Epic Games, right?
Yeah, because
Well,
it's basically because you're not loading an extra client in the background almost, right? Because when you launch it off of Steam, it's still gonna launch that client in the background, and now you're launching two clients at once, basically.
yeah.
So you're just taking up more CPU and memory.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. But let me preference this. I understand my computer is old and it's getting outdated. In order to run Battlefield 6 and play Battlefield 6, Noah, you have to have secure boot on in order to play the game. And I don't know what it was, but when I turned it on in my BIOS, it was crashing my computer. I
Uh,
dude, I don't know why. I don't know why. And it was messing with me because what did I was like thinking, because I didn't think it had anything to do with Battlefield. But me and you have sat on my computer and played hours, and I mean hours of Call of Duty. I've sat on my computer and grinded for Dark Matter for hours. I have like get in game time like 12 days on that stupid
oh
game.
my God, what? You're exposing yourself here.
That's fine. That's fine. And bro, my computer has never crashed the way it has been ever since I turned on secure boot. And so ever since I've taken that off, my computer has been just fine. Dude,
Weird.
I know. It's weird, isn't it? And I was calling my dad because he's huge into IT, and he thought it was a virus. Because I told him, like, well, I got it for free. And he's like, well, that's why you probably downloaded a virus. I'm like, no, I downloaded it through the EA store. And he was like, so it's like a trusted like website and company. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, dude, I would. He's like, it doesn't make sense for a game to run secure boot. I do agree with that. Like
Yeah, they just do
why?
it 'cause it's an easy workaround for anybody that wants to hack, right? Because
And
all the
that's what
time
it
secure
is.
boot will, yeah.
They don't they because when you're considered hacking, isn't that like a virus? Correct?
Um, no, not technically, but like a lot of the hacks and stuff will mess with secure boot because it's not like it doesn't have the same protections and stuff that normal files have. So it's going to be sketchy. It's going to flag it and it won't boot properly.
Dude, yeah, I had to delete it. I don't know what it was, and maybe I can go into like Best Buy and have them explain it to me, but I had to delete it and turn off secure boot because my PC just kept on crashing.
Uh,
Yeah, what do you got? What do you got for me? What do you got for me on that?
I'm trying to think. It might just be something with your operating system is
Dude,
weird,
it,
but
it could be. It could
I do
be.
not know enough.
Dude, yeah, I mean, it's just it's so weird to me. Um, but I had to delete it, man. And hopefully when I get this new PC, I can re-download it and have fun on it and have a alternative to Call of Duty when COD comes out. But as of
Yeah.
now, I am retired from Battlefield 6. Hang up my jersey. Come on. Come on. I think for my 2 week span, my jersey deserves to be in the trash. I was terrible. I think I had a negative KD on Battlefield 6 because I never went for kills. I was just trying to res people.
Oh my god.
Oh man, it was a good
I
time.
sent you something that I just found really quick about secure boot, so you can try that when you get a chance. But
Word,
if not,
word.
I also understand.
No, I'll try it. I'll try it because I mean it's a good game to get me through these last couple of weeks before BO7 comes out. Um, Speaking of BO7, dude, the COD community is like falling apart. It's so crazy to me. Um, and before we started jumping into the podcast, you had said you're not gonna have much input onto it, because you don't understand what's going on. Let me
Yeah, I'm not really in the COD community like that.
yeah. Let me emphasize this. So they are mad of Call of Duty feeling and being like the same game every single year. And no matter
Okay.
how much they are giving feedback, that feedback isn't taken. And that's how the fans feel. And so when the Black Ops 7 came around, it was getting dogged. Both multiplayer and the zombies mode were getting dogged. And I think trending during the beta was on Twitter of why like Battlefield 6 is better than BO7. Like it was like trending. Like that whole like discussion. And
Okay.
it just here's the thing. It just doesn't make sense to me because one, we as the community talk about I hate because I'm not a part of this. I liked Black Ops 7 in the beta. We talk about we want fresh new games and fresh new maps and fresh new content. I completely agree. I want games to stand out from each other. Like I don't want games to feel the same. I do want games to feel like they're somewhat different, even if they're on the same engine. But how can we, as a community, sit here and say Black Ops 6 and Black Ops 7, we're not playing Black Ops 7 because it feels too much like Black Ops 6. But then you go
Wait, what
back
were the
two
numbers again?
years. But then you go back 2 years And Modern Warfare 3, the newest one that came out in 2023 or whatever, is regarded as one of the best new modern games. It is a $70 DLC to MW2. And people talk about, oh, we want a game to feel fresh and new. And I bought a $70 DLC to a game. And in MW3, what was fixed from MW2 was the movement, and that's it. All they said was for MW3 that is going to be new on launch was movement's going to be back. Oh, and you know those maps that you wanted? Oh yeah, we're going to bring back all of MW2's maps. And then we're going to have no original content for you besides the Modern Warfare 3 guns. What we're going to do is we're just going to bring back Modern Warfare 2 maps from 2008. Like, what are we talking about? It blows my mind. I understand as zombies because they want to go back to the old ways. And they can't necessarily go back to the old ways because of the engine. Obviously, they can make gameplay tweaks to get rid of armor and things like that, but they want to go and play Black Ops 7 Zombies like how it would play on BO3. And they don't understand that they can't do that without damaging the main engine of the game.
Yeah, and that's a problem, honestly, with the gaming community a lot. They don't realize what they're asking for is going to come with some kind of give and take. They just want
Yeah.
all the positives and don't want to think about what's actually going to happen or what is actually realistically possible. And you see that a lot with streamers most of the time, streamers and YouTubers.
Oh yeah.
Not saying that they're inherently bad people or dumb, but a lot of the time when they give these takes that are just reactionary, they fail to see that like a lot of people are going to copy
Dude.
their take, and then it's just going to spiral from there, and it's gonna make the community more toxic overall and create a rift between the side that's like actually thinking through and being like, hey, we really can't do that, and the other side not understanding why and just continuing to complain.
Yeah. And FaZe Jev made such a good point, and I am going to shout this on as many videos as I can when I make it. Guys, please, they will take out no skill based matchmaking in next year's COD if we do not play it. Because then they're going to come around and say, hey, skill based matchmaking mode, the no skill based matchmaking mode didn't perform well. So we're not going
Yeah.
to continue and bring it forward. You guys want change, you want no skill based matchmaking. But if you do not play it and you do not show that Call of Duty, we will still ride with you even through the bad times, they are going to say, okay, well, we tried it. We tried it with BO7. There wasn't enough gameplay data to show that, okay, we can run this and people are going to play it. Like, what they're asking for is being given, and people aren't going to take that opportunity and run with it because they are so tired of playing Call of Duty. And I understand that because a new one comes out every single year. But when you are asking for features and it comes into games, you have to take advantage of it because a lot of these times the AAA studios don't listen back to the fans' feedback. It's just facts.
Yeah, because when they listen, they don't. People say they want it, and then they don't use the feature
Yeah,
because whatever, you know. Yeah, it's an unfortunate cycle that once again we see everywhere in the gaming community at this point,
it's
and I think that people need to wake up and realize that if you're going to ask for something, make sure it's something you're going to use and actually play, and make sure it's something that is geared towards everybody
Oh yeah,
because a lot of these suggestions are geared towards a certain loud minority, unfortunately, you know?
yeah, yeah. It's sad to see the COD community in what it's in, but as somebody who grew up with it, I do feel like we're gonna bounce back. And I don't know when or how. I don't think it's going to be a Modern Warfare game because I think Modern Warfare game, especially 2019, is the start of the downfall for COD because instead of making it this arcade shooter, you then made it or tried to make it be a Warzone battle royale experience where the only reason you play multiplayer is to level up guns for Warzone. And I
Yep.
think that's why a lot of people hate on COD. It is not the multiplayer people. It is like just purely the people who only grind out guns for Warzone, where then they're like, all right, the best way to do that is play zombies or multiplayer, and they have a bad time with it, is because they don't play it enough. They just play it to level up the meta gun, go over to Warzone, grind out with the meta gun until that gets nerfed, and then just repeat the cycle.
Yeah. And it just makes one multiplayer match is really boring because you're
Oh yeah, you're running
fighting the
into the
same
same
gun
gun.
over and over again. And
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
it's the same fight that plays out over and over again. It's like, all right, cool. You know, it's like nobody's having fun anymore.
Yeah, yeah. It's annoying to deal with, and I think if people were to honestly give BO7 a chance, it would be a great game. But
Yeah.
do I think it's going to happen? No. I think they're going to be so caught up in wanting to be in what everybody else, like streaming wise, is saying and saying Battlefield 6 is the game to play this year. Nobody's going to give BO7 a chance.
Yeah. I think people will still give BO7 a chance because you got a lot of COD streamers that are complaining
Oh,
about
yeah.
BO6, and so people aren't even going to give it the time of day.
Yep. As
But,
people
but I think both games should be given a fair chance because people are already talking about, oh, I'm not playing uh, BO7 because, you know, sweat demons and all that. But realistically, once you start playing the game and you get past that initial hump of, all right, I'm playing against all these people who are way better than me because all they do is spend their time on this game, the game becomes really fun.
oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Once you start like not running around with the meta build, like Call of Duty
Yeah.
is fun. Cause some guns you're like, bro, this gun is terrible, and yet I am somehow like slaying lobbies. Like that Sierra 9mm. I remember when it came out, we were in a game, and I was like, bro, I'm just gonna run this. I'm like, this sounds and looks so much fun. And dude, I was like top 3 every single time with that gun. That gun was so fun. But was it terrible? Yes. But we still had fun doing it. Or the pizza cutter, like when we were doing that, like like there, if
Yeah.
you use the non-meta guns, Call of Duty is 10 times better because you're not forced into a tunnel. Like you are forced to like actually like play the game and use the movement
Hmm.
and things that are given to you.
Yeah, you're not just sitting there like because with the meta guns a lot of the time you don't even have to be smart about the fights you take. You can just
No.
win the fight because my gun's better. It's got a better TTK, DPS, everything, right?
Oh yeah.
But if you're playing with off meta, as much as I hate to say off meta, I'm just a normal gun, something that you're not uh min maxing to be the best in the game. You're forced to think about your fights, be more creative, and play the game. You know, you're not just running around. Okay, kill the guy.
Right.
I also killed that guy.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like
You're not a sweaty little
and that's
nerd.
why these games. That's why these games die out. People are like, I'm not having fun because you're making the game not fun.
Stop using the meta. Stop using whatever Swag puts out or Tim puts out. Go find an actual build that is fun for you in your style of gameplay and you're gonna have so much more fun in Call of Duty. Just like how I am
Yeah.
had so much more fun in Battlefield 6 is when I stopped trying to play like Battlefield and I started just playing like Private DOS and just my focus for this game is how many reses can I get? Like can I get one more? Like and that's when I had so
Yeah.
much more fun. I stopped having fun when I was trying to keep up with people and trying to run the MP5 that's really good or try to get the 200 meters headshots for the best sniper in the game. Like the moment I started playing the way I wanted to play, I had a whole lot more fun on Battlefield 6 than the time I did play it.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Noah,
think people just need to have more fun.
I would agree. I would agree to that. COD community is falling apart, but at least we're not Fortnite. Fortnite, man, it's so it's hard to gauge Fortnite. For those who don't know, Noah and I talked about this a little bit. Fortnite is viewership wise the lowest it has ever been. Um, it's in my opinion, you have too many sandbox games in it where the main thing, your battle royale, it isn't the most watched thing anymore. It's your custom maps.
Yeah, and I think it's also the bigger problem of they kind of moved. They tried to do too much. They moved away from the
Yes.
gameplay loop that works.
Yes.
A lot of people don't understand what a gameplay loop is,
Yep.
but when you're a company and you have something that works, right? Like God of War, it was a
Oh
hack and
yeah.
slash for a while, and it worked, and it worked, and it worked until it didn't. All right, cool. Then they switched up the gameplay loop. Then it became more of an action adventure game,
Yeah.
and it worked again. They made two games, and now it's not going to work again, so they stopped making that action or that gameplay loop.
Yeah, now they're
But
gonna
Fortnite had it
revitalize the
down.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fortnite had it down. They didn't need to change anything. They had their LTMs that worked, but overall, keeping the battle royale the way it was working.
Oh
And then
yeah.
they started adding too much. First it was the cars, then it was more movement, and then it was bosses, and then it was medallions. And now it doesn't feel like Fortnite anymore because you're not you're most of the time you're not playing the game anymore. You're playing to get a certain loot pool or something certain that wins you the game just pretty much automatically.
Oh yeah.
Whether that's a medallion or a boss weapon or a certain spot that just gives you all the best loot. And
Yeah.
it's ruined the battle royale format that they had perfected.
Well, and something else that I don't know if you agree upon, but it kind of set them up for failure was the constant weekly updates. They're just we got especially if you're a chapter one a player like kind of like how we were exposed to the weekly updates where it was a new gun every single week. There was something new to play with every single week, and now they stop that, and so you're constantly running the same guns over and
Yep.
over and over again until a new season comes. Once a new season comes, yeah, there's new weapons, but a lot of times it's not even like an original idea. It is like this new season is heavily inspired around Halo. And so there's a lot of Halo themed like guns in the game.
Yep.
And so
And
uh,
yeah.
it's tough when you set the bar so high to have to constantly meet that mark. I feel like you're going to fail as a game because
Yeah.
Fortnite's
No, I
huge.
completely agree.
Fortnite's huge. There's like think about this. Minecraft has been out since what, like 2008, something like that, and it is still one of the highest grossing viewership wise on YouTube and Twitch. There's to me no reason why Fortnite couldn't be like that second behind Minecraft. They kind of set themselves up for failure. And but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I don't know. Fortnite needs to simplify. They're becoming, they're trying to do too much with the Roblox kind of make your own game, and then trying to also do the zero build
Yeah.
and the battle royale and all the other LTMs they have going on. You just need to go back to what worked, which was a simplified battle royale. You can keep the cards, you can keep the bosses probably,
Yeah.
but why am I hopping in a Megazord to do a boss fight in the middle of a
Yeah.
battle royale match?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
what is that?
Like what's going
Like
on here?
just let me play Fortnite and keep this stuff like back when the winter map with the planes and stuff, or
Yeah. Going
even
back
back
by the
when
way.
Peter Griffin was in the game.
Yeah.
It was like people were playing back then too because it was fun. Because yeah, the
Yeah.
medallions were made you better, but you could still play around them and be better.
Oh
Now
yeah.
it's like, hey, he's in a Megazord fighting a giant, Zerg from StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just go on the other side of the map real quick
Yeah.
because if I go near there, I'm dead.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Fortnite, the evolution, and a lot of people dislike Fortnite just because it feels like a constant collab with stuff. I don't know. I like the collabs personally. Like that's what I wanted from Fortnite from the jump. I wanted collabs. And so now that I can run around as Scooby Doo and drive the Mystery Shack, I think it's cool personally. Am I the minority in that situation? Yes, because people want original skins in the game. But I personally liked the fact of the collabs in the game.
Yeah,
Uh,
the amount of collabs is cool, but it would be better if it was, not the entire gameplay of that season, like how it
yeah,
was with the Power Rangers.
that's
If
true.
it's
That's
just
true.
like if they get their own LTM, cool, separate from the main game mode.
Yep.
But
Yep.
when it starts impacting once again the main gameplay loop, that's when you start to lose people. That's when people feel like it's being shoved down their throats. Like, I don't want this. I just want to play Fortnite. This isn't what I signed up for, and that's when they start leaving the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you start, because I forget what the saying is, but it's along the lines of like if you keep it simple, keeping it simple is better than having to constantly outdo yourself every single time you do something. And I kind of like that quote. Obviously, like you do want to do better as a game and like continue to evolve your game. But if you keep
Yeah,
your core the same, right, and you
yeah,
do your weekly updates or whatever it is, monthly, yearly, seasonally, like if you can keep that up and be a positive in that area where fans there's no negative feedback, and there's always going to be negative feedback. It's kind of the world we live in. There is somebody that is always going to hate, but if you can try to keep that feedback to a minimum negative feedback, then you win. And I think
yeah.
that's why Battlefield 6 is so successful is because like they revitalized the game. Now they're going into this cycle of okay, we're gonna like not do collabs because that's what we're hearing from the fans that they don't want. They don't want collabs. We hear that from Fortnite, from Call of Duty, from everywhere. So they stated out like from the Battlefield 6 like demo, like there will be no collabs in this game. It's going to be a war-based game. And I but that's why I think Battlefield 6 is doing really good. They listen to a lot of the feedback, not just from Battlefield 4022 or 2042 or Battlefield like 1 or whatnot. They take feedback from other games in the gaming community and what they don't want.
I think they also they're smart enough to realize that, like, hey, our player base is way different than any other player base out there because Battlefield's always been kind of its own thing. It was never trying to be a COD killer. It was never
Right.
trying to be an Apex or anything. It was always just trying to like,
Stay in
hey,
its own
you
lane.
know what? Yeah, we're this is Battlefield. We're gonna do giant
PvP
giant battles
maps.
that make you feel like you're playing through an actual like historical battle or
Yep.
a war,
Yep.
and that's gonna be your gameplay. Like it, don't
To
like it,
but that's
do
what it
we
is.
don't care. Yeah,
Yeah. That's to me that's what the biggest difference is when people talk to me like what's the biggest thing difference wise between Battlefield 6 and a Call of Duty game? And I both know they're considered as arcade shooters, but I say this. If you want a simulation game of what war is like, I'm not saying it is like a one-to-one recreation of war. Battlefield 6 is going to be the game you should play. If you want it to be like true snipers and jets and tanks and things like that, and it's in a big area and it's not like just in a store, like okay, go play that. But if you want high, fast-paced gameplay where you can drop 100 kills and have like an arcade feel, then Call of Duty is going to be your game.
yeah.
If
Drop
you
a
like want to
hundred
be
kills and have like almost minimal impact to a point.
yeah, yep. And then Fortnite is like we got building where everybody sweats them because they want to be the next Booga or Clicks or Ron or Lacey. And then we got a whole separate game mode with no build where the population of that mode goes up 100% because everybody that gets off of work doesn't have time to go grind out no like creative mode. And so
Yep.
then you go there. So then your community's split 50-50 just between that. And then you add in a CSGO counterpart, which isn't good. And then you add
Oh,
in
I
your
forgot about
own
the whole CS:GO thing.
yeah, Fortnite Ballistic. And then you add in a Lego Minecraft variant, which is better now, but it was not good for a while. And then you add Lego
I didn't think
GTA in.
Lego at first. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It was good.
I was a big Lego Fortnite guy for a little
It
bit.
it was good, don't get me wrong, but there was no like progression, I felt like there was no ender
That's
dragon.
true. There
Now
was
that
nothing
there
to do.
is, now there is, and I would be down to sit with somebody and like do like a whole playthrough on it, like how like I do like a Minecraft let's play, which we have to still do. Um,
Do
but
that.
now that there is it, like it incentivizes people more. But Fortnite then added like Lego GTA, which not I don't know why they would like there's just not enough like people that want that. And so then you start getting farther and farther away. And I just think that Fortnite, in my opinion, if they were to relaunch like what CS:GO did in like 10 years time and
Yeah.
they do a Fortnite 2, I would recommend them to say we are going to put you into two categories. Either build or no build. And we're going to get
Mhm.
rid of all of the playground. The playground servers are going to be up over on Fortnite 1. Like you can go and continue to play that and you can go and continue to play Reload. But we cannot keep dividing our community into a million different parts.
Yeah, for sure. I think that like you kind of nailed it on the head there. It's like you're you're doing too much. People are coming for one thing, but then they're getting too many. It's like, hey, you can also play Lego. You can play Fortnite. You can do this. You can do that. You can
Oh
become
yeah.
a fish in this game mode. You can do whatever you want. But giving your players too many options is almost as bad as giving them too little options.
Yeah, not giving them enough. But
Yeah,
we'll see. I think Fortnite is a game where the big
it definitely
collabs
has
will draw.
its days, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Fortnite is a game where like a big collaboration. Like the Simpsons collaboration. There's gonna be a Simpsons reload map. Like I think that will bring in a lot of people that are just fans of the Simpsons. I know it will bring me back
Yeah,
like more back in during that time frame. Um so I think that like will Fortnite ever die? No,
no,
I think it's
not even.
too big of a game to die. But is it going to continuously be as big as Battlefield or COD? I don't think so. I think COD and Battlefield will continue to reign as higher viewer counts per se.
Yeah.
All right, Noah, let's start wrapping up this podcast because you got to go. Chat GBT asks, "What is something recently in your life that deserves a toast or a cheers?"
Um, oh, that's a great question. Uh, I think it's just migrating myself back to regular life after football.
Hey,
You
oh, you
know,
know what? I'll give you a cheers for that. Take a little dranky drink. That's good. That's good. Yeah, man, it's definitely a change of life after football. And I just told a girl this. It's I am in no hurry to find out my next career move or anything like that because I want to learn who I am as a person outside of football. And so I
yeah,
definitely cheers you on that. Because it is a huge transition into going from a college athlete or an athlete who spent their life every single year, every single day for it, and then now all of a sudden it just stops. It does definitely take a while to get used to it, and I'm proud of you for acknowledging that, my boy.
thank you, brother. Yeah, no, it's definitely been it's been eye-opening how much of my personality and what I wanted to do was connected to football and my success
Bro,
in football.
yeah, tell me about it, man. Tell me about it. It's crazy, isn't it? Oh man, like bro, I was like telling somebody bro, there was for at least 10 years. It was just like, bro, let me just study. Let me study at the game. Um yeah, man, it's crazy, isn't it? How much like your sport can take up your life, and like you're like, dude, I don't know who I am outside of hitting somebody for fun.
Nah, for real, bro. Like even my I love the gym, but even my lifting, like I've had to change around and be like,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not an athlete. I'm not training to, go play a game, in a month or two.
yeah, yeah, man.
Definitely,
It's
definitely good.
yeah, like that's something I noticed too. Like when I'm consistent in the gym, is that I had to remind myself, like, bro, it's okay not to lift heavy. Like just listen to your body, bro. Like there's like, hey, bro, you don't gotta go block for anybody next week. Like just it's okay. Take your time. Like it will come back, I promise you. But like I keep forgetting? Absolutely. Um, but
For sure.
but but hey man, cheers to Noah. Congratulations, Noah.
Serious, serious, serious. But what about you, man? What's something recently for you to cheers to?
Ah, wouldn't you like to know? Um, it's gonna sound kind of scumbaggy to say, but there are two girls that I am really interested in right now. And so I would just say it's not so much cheers to talking to two girls, but it's cheers to going back out in the dating scene after having been cheated on back to back. That shit's rough. So my cheers is just like being able to talk to somebody again and build that confidence back up in
Yeah, no,
relationships.
no, for sure, man. That is a cheers. I'm glad you're able to, overcome that kind of betrayal because often, people arbitrate like that, and they harbor distrust to most people, just out of a reaction to that kind of treatment.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
it is good for you to be able to take your time away from the dating world and get right with yourself and right with those feelings before going back out there and the you know finding some girls, getting back
yeah,
out there,
yeah,
putting
man.
together a roster type deal.
I won't. I'm never gonna have a roster just because that's one. I don't have the energy or focus or the brain capacity to manage a roster. I'm not a GM. All right. I can. I'm
The minute
a.
you get more than two girls, you'd start mixing up names.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Text one girl. Hey, what's up, Brittany? Like, my name is Laquanda. Like, ah, shit. My bad. Like.
Autocorrect, am I right?
Yeah, we sound nothing alike. Ah. Unfortunately, I do think we're gonna have to do our bet. Um, we had made a bet, and it sounds bad, but it was more or less for us to go out and push ourselves to talk to somebody and to find somebody because we had never had a serious relationship. So the bet was by the end of 2025, one of us needs to have a relationship. Do I think that's going to happen?
Oh,
Probably not, my boy. I mean,
hey,
maybe,
listen.
but I'm not gonna rush things.
Yeah, no, definitely not. I mean,
And
there are, like this weekend or this Thursday, maybe I might be going to my buddy's 21st birthday party. He's throwing something
hey,
at his house, so who knows? But probably not. I'm probably gonna hold up the wall and average 10 damn three she's
10
fines
dams.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
women talk.
You're gonna get a triple double on the No Bitches Association.
MVP baby.
MVP right there. So moral of our bet though is that if we couldn't, we made this bet like on January 1st just to go out and start talking to women and like go out of
Yeah.
our shell, right? The bet was
Yep.
if none of us could do it, even like because it was like, bro, it doesn't matter if like you only dated for like 3 months. You needed to be in a relationship within 2025. If not, we're gonna have to play Warzone, and every single time we complain about it, we have to take a shot.
Yeah.
I think we're about to be some really drunk Warzone players coming up here soon.
Yeah, I think that's for sure gonna happen.
But
And uh, I
at
think
least one
that
of us got out there, right? I mean, you're just now starting to because you're not solely focused on football. So you have a whole lot
yeah.
more free time. But my boy, I don't think either of us is gonna hit a bank buzzer beater before 2026.
Yeah, we're gonna
Um,
we're gonna need like I don't know, Kawhi Leonard, but we're more
yeah,
like Paul George.
yeah. But like that's the thing. We're two guys who we're not gonna rush things into a relationship. We're gonna find the right one before we
Yep.
before we make any big decisions. Um, so
Because women are scary.
they're very scary. But that was Chat GBT asked. With that being said, Noah, first rate us your beer or your brew. What is it? Is it a
Pacifico.
beer?
Yeah, it's a beer. Pacifico.
Okay. Yep.
I'm gonna
Well,
give that
out of
an
10,
eight. I'm gonna give that an eight.
give it an 8. Solid. Solid. Still would give my garage beer a 7 out of 10. You know, it's beer. It's your Michelob Ultra. It's a solid beer. It ain't groundbreaking, but it's very solid. Shout out Travis and Jason Kelsey um for producing it or things like that. Solid beer. Now Noah, I'm gonna ramble here for a second, but last
Okay.
time it was any final thoughts, and your final thoughts were I just shit myself. So I'm really gonna give you time. I'm gonna ramble a little bit before I ask you the question because like we said, once I ask this question, it's whatever's those it's on Hut. All right, like it's first
All
sound.
right.
So I'm
I'm
gonna
locked.
I'm
I'm
gonna
locked.
I'm gonna try to give you some extra time. I'm gonna call some audibles, call some hot routes. Make sure my protection is set. Right. I'm gonna look over the coach, make sure he doesn't want to change the play. All right, Noah. Like we're set.
I'm ready.
Like
All right.
everybody's
All right.
set. Everybody. The play clock's down to 10. Noah.
I'm
Noah.
getting in my stance. I'm getting in my stance, bro. I'm pointing at the ref. Don't worry. I'm ready.
Hey. We're at 5. Noah. Any final words for the audience?
In life, you're gonna always have two decisions: either to be pissed on or to be pissed off. It's always better to be pissed off.
Brother, what does that even mean?
They'll know.
If you know, you know.
They'll know.
If
If
you
you
know,
know,
you
you know.
know. I
What
guess
that
I
mean?
don't know. With that being said, this has been Dudes with Brews. We'll catch you next week. Noah, have yourself a good night. I'll catch y'all later.
You too, Pete.
Peace.